band from Toronto, but first known as Topanga, produces hardcore punk rock music that will rock your socks off. First, I'll go through the band's history. Formed in 2010 by bassist Nestor, guitarist Steve, and drummer Zach. All three of them grew up together and eventually met lead singer Stefan at a Toronto music venue. They made their first EP titled Topanga EP, released in December of 2010. Later to be renamed Lionheart, they played their first show shortly after, in January 2011. While creating their first studio album, their name was still Topanga. They decided it didn't really change it because it didn't really feel like their style of music. Months later, they changed their name to what everybody knows them now as Pup, which actually means pathetic use of potential. That is what Stefan's grandmother told him when he told her he was quitting his job to pursue music full time. Next, I'll be going through each member. First, Stephen Babcock, lead vocals and lead guitarist. Next, guitarist Steve Sadowski. Then, bass player Nestor Chumuk. And their last member, drummer Zach Muko. Now to each of their albums, I'll be giving my opinion, also naming the top song from each album that you have to listen to. Self-Titled, released April 8th of 2014 on One Side Dummy Records. This album is just a banger. I can't really say that there isn't a bad song on this album. Each one has a unique story that hits everyone differently. From the song Guilt Trip, talking about losing his girl and straight up just being so upset he doesn't know what to do, to Mabu, which is about Stefan's first car and how attached he was to it, to Dark Days, which talks about losing a loved one while they're on tour, and about just how miserable it can get. But it'll all be worth it in the end if you just put your head down and get through all the mud and the dirt. Also, the guitars from both Stefan and Steve are just breathtaking, especially this in the song Guilt Trip. I give this album a 9 out of 10, and the song you should listen to is Dark Days. Dark Days was actually the first pop song I ever listened to, and it's an all-time favorite for me. Their next album, The Dream Is Over, released on May 27, 2016 on One Side Dummy Records. This is my second favorite album they made, and I can legit say that I've shed a tear to this album. Some of the songs just hit me so personally. This album starts off with two of the best songs I've ever produced. It starts off, If This Tour Doesn't Kill You, I Will, and immediately transitions into DVP, aka Don Valley Parkway, which is the main highway leading into Toronto. It's like it's just one big song, but actually two. You have to listen to it. Fun fact, this album is called The Dream Is Over because Stefan had a problem with his vocal cords, and a doctor told him the dream is over. I recommend you listen to the song Sleep in the Heat and actually watch a music video because you might see a familiar face from Stranger Things, Finn Wolfhard, and give this album a solid 9.5 out of 10. Next, my favorite album that they have ever released, Morbid Stuff, released April 5th, 2019 on Rise Records. This album was very personal to me. The big theme is depression and anxiety, which I have been diagnosed with for the past 5 years, and most of my direct family had it or is currently going through it, like I am. In an interview, lead singer Stefan said, the central theme of Morbid Stuff was accepting the darkness and all the moods, that all the bullshit and that comes with it. It just trying to figure out the little pinprick of light in it. I want to talk about the song Kids, and it's arguably the best song they've ever made. I will share some lines with you from the song. Just like the kids, I've been navigating my way through the mind-numbing reality of a godless existence. Just listen to those lyrics. Personally, I don't believe in God, and I've never found a band that has said something so close to what I was thinking. But then there's the song Scorpion Hill. You have to listen to it. It's the story is just so descriptive, and it's the song that I recommend. It's the best story I've ever heard, and it's also upbeat, but so depressing at the same time. I can't really explain it. You just have to give it a listen to yourself. I give this album a solid 11 out of 10. This is Pup's greatest release by far. Now, onto their newest release, an EP called This Place Sucks Ass. Released on October 23rd, 2020 under Rise Records. I honestly haven't really given this EP much of a good listen, so I can't say much about it. But the couple of songs I have listened to are amazing. I give this EP a 5 out of 10 just because I haven't listened to this album. The song that I recommend is Alifaxis. It reminds me of the song Doubts on The Dream Is Over. The way that the singer is just so mad and he doesn't know what to even say. Well, this is the end of the video.